What's happening, so fam? So it is Tarot Tuesday and we have a mega spread here. If the cards look a little bit darker than normal, it's because there's a lot of death energy going on right now. Over the weekend, I decided to share with you guys the Sacred Empowerment with the lead researchers on Patreon about, like this empowerment that really did hit a lot of us very strongly. So tomorrow, at the time of me recording this video, we're going to be stepping into the new moon. So right now we're in the waning moon. Doesn't matter what time you watch this video, 20 years from now or the day of, this energy is in alignment with you. Take what serves you, leave what doesn't. Follow us on Instagram and on TikTok. Instagram is at Antojai. TikTok is Antojai Quantum Reiki. Support us on Patreon and let's get started. So we have the cosmic spread right here, and then we have a moon spread right here, just to kind of like let us know what's going to be happening right now. Like I said, there's a lot of death energy, so we have to be paying attention to first the cosmic energies that are coming on the outer edges of the deck. So when it comes to the grounding aspects of the subconscious moon, we have the star, okay? And the star is basically telling us, hey, like the universe is orchestrating what's happening next in our reality. And underneath it, we have the Two of Swords, which is we're trying to find peace on earth, okay? That's one of the major things that the subconscious mind is trying to create. Now, the sun is going to bring us the energy of the Tower. And basically, it's going to be some sort of like major issue that needs to be corrected, an illumination. The sun has to do with illumination and ascension, the spirit, okay? So like the cosmos has orchestrated a major problem that's going to surface so that we can find peace, okay? Now on the cosmic reading, on the edges over here, right there we have the Prince of Cups. The Prince of Cups usually means a being that is willing to do whatever it takes to get to the next level. It's one of the energies that's coming in from that corner over there. Over here, we have the Three of Wands, which is virtue, okay? And it's basically telling us that whatever is going to be coming next, like this huge wave of energy, is going to be really, really intense for some people, and it's going to be a struggle for other kinds of people. The people who authentically are working on themselves and the people who are having complete and total virtue with themselves are the people that are going to be coasting through this energy. In this lower hand corner over here, we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is basically telling us stagnation, right? And when we see stagnation with the Seven of Pentacles, there's a lot of things going on in our world that are stagnant, okay? So we really need to be paying attention that not to give our energy to stagnation. Stagnation is black energy, and it's also tied to death energy in the kind of research that I do. So this is very in alignment with the vibes that I got today to just pull out all the death-oriented cards, okay? Finally, we have the King of Pentacles, which is basically telling us not to be greedy. Right now, there's a lot of greed happening in the world in terms of like the structure of the world and where we're going to be going next. It's really important that you don't feed into that same vibration of greed, because that's the energy that's going to be collapsing very soon, because the cosmos has decided that it will be collapsing, okay? So we really got to pay attention to these energies so that we do not self-sabotage ourselves. Now, we're going to start off with the current moon right now, and we're going to read from there as we go along. If they tell us to jump over to the other set, we will. So the first card that we're going to be looking at is cruelty, the Nine of Swords. There's a lot of cruelty going on in our reality right now that we know does not serve us anymore. It's not something that we want to hold on to anymore, but for some reason we're still perpetuating it. We're letting it happen. Now sometimes, it doesn't mean that you have to be the contributor to the pain or whatever else is going on in reality. Sometimes it just means that like you're not doing anything to stop the pain from exacerbating itself, right? That's just as bad as like being part of the problem itself, right? So then when we flip over the next card, we have the Six of Cups. A lot of people are looking into the past, like, oh yeah, I should have done this, I should have done that, like my life would have been easier if. The past is the past right now, based off of your present. Like, you need to be focusing on the present and not even focusing on the future. The future is a natural construct of the mind, but it's one of the things that we cannot be putting all of our attention to. Otherwise, it's going to be self-sabotaging for us in the long run. So on the 13th is when we're starting the new moon, okay? The energy that comes out there is the Eight of Wands. The new moon is going to bring in a huge cataclysmic change that is happening for everyone. I don't care how much energy work you do. I don't care what it is that you want to convince yourself of right now. That's coming. That can't be avoided. Now, on December 21st, I downloaded that there was going to be like a huge wave of energy that's coming our way that couldn't be avoided. Other people that I know that are also like very intuitive got the same message in different ways. Whether it was a tsunami, or there's a calamity coming, or there's a decentralization coming. There's a huge wave of something coming, and it's starting tomorrow. All right, so really do be paying attention to yourself. Take advantage of the fact that that death is only an illusion, and that if you choose to go with the vibration of destruction, which is the energy of Shakti and Shiva and basically Kali, that's going to be what propels you to the next levels that you're looking for. Then we have the Four of Wands that comes out, basically telling us, okay, there's this moment right now where we need to relax. Like, even though the world seems to be going in all these different directions and there's this like level of disarray, we are stepping into Mercury Retrograde. So Mercury Retrograde is going to really, really be hitting people in a way where they don't want to do anything anymore. Secrets are going to be coming out. A lot of communication issues are going to be happening. Like, it's one of those things that's really, really important to pay attention to. So if you have something that you want to say to somebody because you're fed up with them or whatever, maybe wait, because even if you try to communicate it the right way, the other person might not be receptive to it at this time due to the Mercury retrograde, okay? Also, relax. You don't always have to take action for anything. Most importantly, make sure that you just communicate your truth to keep your peace. Like, if you can't hang out with people, let them know that you can't hang out with people. You can't hang out with them because you're on a spiritual journey, you're channeling too much or whatever. That's what I've been doing with all my friends. It's basically telling them I don't want to hang out with anybody. Like, I'm channeling too hard. I can't hang out with anybody. The next card that comes out is the Queen of Discs, the Queen of Pentacles, basically. So the Queen of Pentacles is basically reminding us, hey, like, we're holy, and if we choose to hold on to our holiness, if we choose to hold on to the things that we know are going to bring us to the next level, then that's all we need to really be paying attention to. That's what's going to bring us to the next level. Holding on to our transcendental nature, and also trusting in the Divine Feminine. As the Divine Feminine is taking over more and more and more every progressive second of this reality, it's only those of us that choose to work with reality that are going to be experiencing the blessings of the Divine Feminine. Everybody else who's trying to choose to control and stay in the Divine Masculine are the people that are going to find themselves having major resistance and major hurdles that they have to jump over, because it's not the way that this organization of reality is currently taking place. Three of Cups. Choose to spend time with quality people. Like, guard your energy right now. Even if you can't spend time with quality people, choose to have quality time with yourself. By doing this, you will bring in fortune of all kinds into your reality. Like, that's the secret to hacking this reality at this current moment in the current state of affairs of everything that is. That is literally what's going to bring us a lot of happiness, okay? So by the next full moon, if you're paying attention to what I'm sharing with you right now, and you just start doing what I'm saying from today all the way up to the next full moon, when the next full moon comes through, that's going to kick in a lot of beautiful, powerful energy that's going to bring you a lot of happiness, and it's going to break all the barriers that have been in front of you, okay? So this is like a really high alchemy moment right now that we need to be paying attention to. Doing so, we'll fill in our goblets with everything that we're looking for. And finally, don't be afraid to take action. Go for what it is that you want. Some people are not going to vibrate with you, and they're not going to really pay attention to why it is that you're doing certain things, or why you feel compelled to do certain things. It's not for them to understand it. It's for you to go on your own journey and do whatever it is that makes you feel empowered in this time. Remember, my last reading, I don't know if it was the reading that I shared with you guys right now, or it was the last reading. Yeah, it was talking about empowerment, right? It was talking about empowering ourselves. This is still the same comment here that's coming through a week later. This is going to be one of the hardest things that people have to deal with the Five of Wands. Like, some people don't know how to empower themselves, or they don't feel okay empowering themselves. They don't feel okay empowering themselves and then making another person just have to get over it. It's your choice. You're the creator of your own reality. But I mean, there's a lot to reap right here if you decide to go in this direction and not stand in your own way, okay? That's pretty much what's coming down here. Now, the hollows are reminding you to have fortitude, okay? You need to have this strength, this fortitude to know that you have to stand in your own energy, to create boundaries, and that's what's going to keep moving you forward with the energy of the Chariot, okay? It's very, very powerful energy that cannot be avoided at this time. Three of Swords, there's a pain in the collective consciousness that's coming out of the subconscious that no longer needs to be addressed anymore. And as that's happening, we need to have patience. We need to have temperance. We need to be willing to embrace that understanding that we know. And what's funny, as that's the last card that comes out, what's the next card that pops out at the very end? Death. Okay, we didn't even know that was going to be there, but that's pretty much the energy that's there. So let's move over to the next one. And then the bottom deck energy that was underneath the two that I read here is the Nine of Cups, basically saying like people are bored of an old reality that doesn't serve them anymore. You might be one of those people. You might have been one of those people that figured that out yet last year in freaking 2020 when Rahu was still running really, really strong, and you listened to me, you did what you needed to do, and now you're like in a different reality. It's kind of like very weird feeling, but you're in a totally different space of reality while other people are still dealing with the same shit that they were dealing with last year, right? So like another thing I want to really point out right now is that 2020 does not end until March 20th, 2021. We're still in 2020. If you choose to like ignore it and pretend that you're still in 2021, okay, whatever, that's your life, right? But I'm just telling you based off of cosmic law and cosmic time that we're still experiencing 2020, which is essentially 8 years and 8 months behind. We are technically in 2012. Okay, 2020, 2012. This is literally the energies that we're holding on to right now. So it's up to you on whether or not you want to like vibrate with that energy and have like a higher vibration or whatever, okay? So then the next thing that we're going to be tapping into here is the vibrations of the sun. So what are we gravitating towards our reality right now? The Wheel of Fortune, hey! We're all trying to gravitate to like higher states of existence, and to do that, we're going to need to be the royalty that we know we are. We need to just go ahead and go after what we're looking for. That always encounters us to have like a different vibration, not holding ourselves back from anything that has been presented to us previously. So since we're walking into Mercury right now, since Mercury Retrograde is going to be starting, they're telling you to let go of the things that have been causing you some sort of strife, making you feel sad, making you feel unwanted, and choose to forge a new reality. Forge the reality that you're actually seeking for yourself. Who cares about what everybody else wants? With the energy of Hathor, we're being told to do meditation, communication, and culture. We're trying, literally, communication, Mercury. Like, we need to meditate for our communication, and we're also orchestrating the higher vibrations of the cosmos, of our culture in general as we do this. Hathor is also a lot about love. So during the Mercury retrograde, focus on love specifically. If you do that, you're going to find a lot of abundance in a bunch of different areas that you weren't expecting to find it in, especially... What is this? Happiness. Hey, Mercury is not against us. If you were here on the YouTube channeling, it was so powerful, and like pretty much there were certain things that he didn't want people online to know for whatever reason. We don't really know why, but it's a very powerful energy. Be guarded in the sense of like being attentive and being authentic, not being guarded in fear. Venus comes with the martyr energy, honesty, shame, and restitution. So we have to live in an honest state in our hearts, and also let go of any shame so that we can basically bring a new calibration into this reality. The divine masculine isn't being honest with himself. The divine masculine in this reality has been carrying a lot of shame and a lot of ego because it hasn't wanted to deal with itself, right? So in esoterica, the divine feminine heals the divine masculine. The divine feminine is healed by the cosmos, okay? So right now, it's one of those things that we need to be applying ourselves during the Mercury retrograde and during this next like moon cycle to just expressing happiness and love for ourselves and taking action for the things that we want. Sometimes we think being loving is putting ourselves in a sacrifice, and that's not true. Sometimes when we choose ourselves and we choose to be like empowered and we don't sacrifice ourselves for others, other people are like, whoa, I should do the same thing. Like, wow, that's so amazing to watch, okay? So we're going to go into Pluto. Pluto is one of the major energies that's really playing in effect right now. We have the Lovers right now, basically telling us, marry the reality that you want to be with, period. Don't wait till tomorrow to get married. Marry it right now. The next card that comes up is the Nine of Cups. If there's something that's been making you feel like, you know, you're not happy in your reality right now, okay, but it shouldn't be based off of the material world. It should be based off of why is it that it's triggering you to feel that way. Sometimes we think, oh, you know, the reason why I'm angry is because I don't have enough money. No, the reason why you're angry is because you're struggling with the idea of why is it so difficult to make money. And at the end of the day, that thought process is the self-sabotaging behavior that makes more money difficult to attain, okay? So it's one of those things that you really got to sit down with yourself. What is the core of what's happening to you without looking at the like the most obvious material aspects of what it is that you're dealing with, right? So then finally we have the Three of Cups. By doing so, you will find the resolution that you're looking for, marrying that reality. The other day I had this like really interesting meditation when I did it on Patreon, a morning meditation, and we were basically tapping into the vibration of things that we were creating. And I'm always like really obsessed with like not necessarily wealth, but bringing more like prosperity in my reality. And one of the things that came out was like, it's not necessarily that you're looking for wealth or prosperity. You're more so looking for luxury. You like to live in a luxurious fashion, and luxury is different for each person, right? Like luxury for me is being able to wake up at 11 p.m. and just do whatever I want, or, you know, wake up at 11 a.m. and do whatever I want. That's luxury for me, not being on anybody else's time schedule but my own. You know, for some people, luxury is like, whoa, like I gotta have like the latest car, you know what I mean? But again, like listening to these cards, right? Take my example, right? I focus on the existence. I don't look at the matter. Like my thing is, I want to have a life that seems prosperous, not like things that make me think I'm prosperous, right? So it's one of the things that you really got to be addressing internally for yourself personally. We're going to go into Saturn because Saturn's still running. We're still in the Rahu energy, even though we've transitioned in a way to the Mercury energy as well. So here we have the Tower. Saturn is still not done with us. It's still going to bring us an issue that has to be dealt with. And it's an issue that will allow us to allow attainment and opening of riches for us to happen, okay? So there's a lot of like economic change that's happening right now in this vibration, and that's one of the things that I'm trying to like help a lot of people understand is like the world economy is changing. Like I haven't like wanted to go out and say that right out the bat for people because that tends to scare people, but really the world economy is totally changing. Like if you're not in this vibration of saying, hey, I'm going to be smart and I'm not going to put my trust where I normally used to put it, like you're going to find yourself on the other side of a ton of abundance, okay? And we've been able to see that with cryptocurrencies. We've been able to see that with a lot of other things that are happening right now in our society. So really be ahead of the curve. Don't fall for the same traps and trusting other people. Trust yourself. Don't trust anything in reality other than what your intuitive center is telling you to trust and what you want to go with in that vibration, okay? We're going to go over here to Uranus. Uranus has to do with change and cataclysmic events. The magician is being forced to look inside of himself to unlock the higher vibrations that are there, because there's a problem here that no longer has space for us to contemplate and work with. The Prince comes out basically telling us we're letting go of sorrow. We're gaining serendipity. We're losing anything that has to do with the forgotten adversaries and lost valor. So this card right here has to do a lot with the anti-masters, the forgotten adversary. Like the adversary that's been in front of your face the whole entire time, the structure of reality that has now become so apparent that you remember all of a sudden, oh shit, it's been here like thousands of years and I'm done dealing with you, right? That's a different vibration for each person. If you're one of those persons that wants to go ahead and step into like fear mongering and like posting a bunch of shit on YouTube or Instagram or wherever social media you have just to like keep inciting fear into other people instead of empowering people, you're part of the problem, and the divine feminine is coming after you next. Okay, so really be paying attention. It's not about what you say, is how you say it, right? It's not what you share, is how you share it. Like you can get the same message across and you can share it in complete and total fear, or share it in complete and total empowerment and just being real with it, right? So it's really important that you start paying attention to the vibrations that you're putting out into the cosmos. Otherwise, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. Jupiter, finances. We have Abraham, justice of pandemonium, justice, truth, and duty. The main thing for your abundance right now is listening to the truth, finding your own internal truth, listening to the intuition that's coming through, and it's going to guide you. It's literally going to take you to the direction that you need to go to produce what it is that you're looking to produce right now. So abundance right now shouldn't be a major thing, because if you're listening to what we said in Pluto, it's not about the material universe, it's what you're creating at a vibrationary scale. Some people don't understand energy. Okay, they're going to be stuck in this in the limitations of this reading, and on both sides, okay? For those of you that understand energy, you need to literally choose the spiritual world above the physical world. When you start living solely in the spiritual world, the physical world will reorient itself to show that wealth of prosperity and spiritual energy that you actually have. That's the ultimate truth that's coming up right now. We're going to go into Mars, okay? Mars again comes up with the Knight of Pentacles. It's not about going after wealth, it's about the lifestyle, okay? The Page of Pentacles, he gets paid handsomely, but he doesn't really care about the money. He just literally likes to have his little plot of land with his dog and his significant other, and he doesn't like to be bothered. Like, he'll go to work, which is war, when it's necessary. But other than that, he doesn't want to be hanging out with the troops. He doesn't want to be hanging out in anything that's other than his own peace, right? His existence, not the material aspects of the universe. So here, Mars is telling you, don't chase the money, chase the vibration, okay? Don't even chase anything. If you do that, you have more luck than the people who are chasing matter. You'll do things faster because time is beyond matter. Matter doesn't have energy. Only the environment has energy. We've known this in different sciences and quantum sciences. Pay attention to this finally, okay? The Mother of Dawn is coming in. Beauty, agency, and compassion. As we have this understanding of stepping higher into the spiritual world and not giving our energies to the material world, we have to develop compassion. Compassion doesn't mean that you're letting people walk all over you. It's understanding where people are in their reality and why they're reacting, or they choose to believe the things that they're believing based off of the perception that they're currently limited to. Some people only can see under the guise of fear because that's what they're being fed at this moment, and they don't know how to see anything beyond that. It's not your duty to wake them up from that fear unless they ask you for your help, okay? That's another thing that you need to understand. Sometimes your friends need to figure it out for themselves before they're able to like fully ascend and step into the next vibration. Not always can you deliver your energy to everyone and they're gonna absorb it. Plus, if you're contributing your energy in places where nobody asks for it, and then you feel like calibrated to frustration, which essentially is some form of suffering because the other person didn't listen to you, why did you go pitch your information when nobody was asking you for it anyway? Even if it was coming from a good place, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you need to be able to accept the fact that some people need to die in certain aspects, and it has to be a brutal death for them. For other people, they choose to transcend death by not allowing it to be part of a resistance factor in their reality. It's not your place to make sure that you carry and strap anybody on your back to understand reality the way that you're understanding it. That's just not how it goes anymore. By paying attention to this, you will have the Ace of Pentacles, which is basically the abundance that we're talking about overall. That's the energy of Mars right now that I want you to know. The Earth, the grounding energies of Earth right now. We have the Nynx, okay, which is secrets, vigilance, and subterfuge. So basically, there are a lot of things that are coming to light right now. If If you think we've seen it, we haven't, okay? One of the things I really want you to pay attention to is when the news tells you to look right, you should be looking left, okay? You need to be paying attention to what's on the other side, because if you're not, then you're going to find yourself to be in this like really weird space in your reality. The next card is El Shaddai, which is wisdom, paternalism, and kindness. As you start seeing the truth, as you start seeing the truth, you have to have compassion, you have to have kindness, you have to have wisdom. Sometimes you see the truth and you get angry, and you're like, God damn it, you know what I mean? And I definitely have felt that, like, especially when the CIA released over 180 documents talking about how the law of attraction is real, and how, like, you know, we live in a hologram and all this other stuff, and how, like, even auras are real. They were able to test the evil eye and measure its potential and on someone. Like, this has been out forever, and then we could have had a totally different society because we allowed this information to come out. But no, the people in power didn't want the people to understand the true nature of reality. And for a while, that made me really angry. Like, they made all of us that are teaching esoterica, teaching manifestation, whatever, seem like legit crazy people, because of course there's no power or there's no profit for the masculine to empower people with the feminine, right? So you don't have those types of reactions where, like, the truth comes out and you're like, ah, you know what I mean? Like, I can't believe it. You can't have that, because if you do, you're going to hold yourself back, and it's just going to create more of the resistance that you don't want to encounter, okay? So just recognize, oh, okay, well, the truth came out, finally. Like, if you've known it for a hot minute, great, like, fantastic. We know aliens are out there. We know the law of attraction is here. We know we live in 5D. Even if other people don't want to, like, believe it, or other people are oblivious to it, it's okay. You became aware of it. That was the main mission for you, okay? It's for you to become aware of it. And now your purpose is to basically continue to exist in that knowing, okay? That's how you're going to switch dimensions in Quantum Leap. This is the adjustment that is absolutely necessary right now. Like, that's it. That's literally all we can do. And then we have the King of Swords, like, use this knowledge and take advantage of moving forward in the direction that you want to move. Neptune is one of the final energies that's really controlling our reality right now. It has to do with one of the energies that's controlling the Atlantean wave that's coming through. And then we have Charon, the ferryman, basically focus, transition, and necessity that's happening right now, the ferryman of death. Very interesting that the ferryman of death in Neptune, which has to do with water and spiritual love and, like, the higher aspects of our reality, all the death energy is coming out real strong right now. Like, something is dying, and for some of you this might be terrifying. Oh my god, like, something's dying, what should I do? Maybe I should buy a bunch of canned food. Do whatever makes you feel good. But if you're doing shit like that from, like, the space of fear, you still didn't hear anything I said to you during this reading. So replay this shit so you can really understand what I just said to you. And then the final card that comes out is wealth. The wealth of the cosmos is literally changing. It's changing hands. The power of the cosmos is changing hands. Reality is shifting in all these different directions, right? You can choose whether you want to go towards fear, towards love, towards empowerment, towards something you're creating altogether, or towards something completely random, if that's really what you want to live and experience in your life. But this is one of the things that you absolutely have to pay attention to right now as we walk deeper and deeper and deeper into the coming months, especially for the full moon cycle. Like, this is not just the energy that's happening right now in our cosmos for up until literally like March 20th, but also the next full moon cycle. So this reading is still going to be very much so in effect, both of these, until March 20th 2021. So I'm sending you all the love. Give me a like, give me a follow, subscribe, press the notification bell so you don't miss anything. If you're looking to join our Quantum Tarot course so you can learn how to do tarot like this, go ahead, check out the link in the description below, and I will catch you in our next episode.